how many good habits have you been able to successfully build in the past 2 years? 0, 1, 2. Were they even good? Are you still consistent with them? I have built at least 6 habits that I can remember on the top of my head right now, just in the past 1 year, and I'm very consistent with them. I do them every single day without fail. How consistent are you with your New Year's resolution? Are you going to the gym every single day? Are you going to the gym at least every single day on your split? Do you even remember what your New Year's resolution was? Probably not. If that's you, if that sounds like you, I need you to understand that the reason why you're not able to build a habit, the reason why you're not consistent or at least as consistent as you should be with these habits is because you're feeding onto the excuses that your brain is giving you. You're making your weak mind stronger at being weaker. And that's pathetic, and that's extremely self-sabotage. You're making sure that you don't progress in life. You're making sure that your weak mind stays stronger than your stronger mind. And you clicked on this video because at least you identify that as a problem and you want to work against it. And I can help you do exactly that. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a very secret and a very effective tool that's going to help you build up a habit in no time. That's going to be extremely beneficial for you while being consistent towards doing something. So if you're struggling with making progress in the gym because you're not as consistent, watch this video. If you're struggling with doing something consistently, if you're struggling with building a habit, this video is exactly for you. I discovered this secret tool about 1.5 years ago, and since then I've built so many habits successfully. And there was a point in my life where I stopped using this tool, and that was the worst progress that I've ever made in my life. That little dark period of my life was where I was extremely inconsistent in the gym, with making YouTube videos, with researching, with scripting videos, every single thing. It was just a bad time for me. So if you want to find out what that tool is, and if you actually want to stop being inconsistent, watch this video towards the very end. Right, so you be consistent and you build a habit actually by creating something, and this tool is called a habit tracker. What a habit tracker is basically, it's a piece of paper where on the margin side you write down dates of the particular month that you're making the habit tracker for, and on the top side you write all the habits down. And every time you do a particular habit on a particular date, you take it off, and on the days you don't, you put a cross on. It's very simple, it's almost childish, but it's very effective, and until you actually use it for a couple of months and you see your progress increasing, you won't be able to understand how powerful it actually is. So here's an actionable step for this video, and I'll probably post a picture of one of my own habit trackers, and you can understand how exactly to make it. So, and just to prove you that I actually use this on my own, here is my own habit trackers. This one is for the month of September. This is for January. This is for October. And there's just so many habit trackers. Look at that. These are all habit trackers that I used to stick up on my bathroom wall, but I was basically ignoring it, and I stopped taking off stuff. So right now my habit tracker is on my dressing table mirror, where I can see it every single day. Look at that. That's all habit trackers. So I need you to create your own habit tracker, and you can do this while watching this video. So just tear a piece of paper or from your notebook or anywhere and write down the dates of the rest of the month. Basically, you should make a habit tracker for at least 30 days. And here are some tips that you need to consider while making your own habit tracker or while working on your first habit tracker. Okay, so tip number 1, only keep one habit in the beginning. You're not an expert yet, so don't even try to put as much as I did. Start with just one, because it's going to be the easiest way you're going to make progress. If you overwhelm yourself by putting too many habits, it's going to be a little clustered for you. It's going to be hard for you to follow through and you'll just feel frustrated and you'll stop using the habit tracker at all. Tracking your progress is the best thing you can do for your progress. So I need you to, I'm going to post a picture of my habit tracker here again. I need you to make a similar habit tracker, except only put very subtle things on there. So instead of working out every single day, like I have, you can just write going to the gym. On the days you don't feel like going to the gym or don't feel like working out, all you simply have to do is go to the gym. You don't even have to work out. The fact that you stepped into the gym is okay. Like showing up is enough. So in the beginning, I only want you to write down showing up part of that habit. And that is the first step of building habits. You first build a habit to show up to do the activity, right? So in your habit tracker, I want you to write down one activity. And for that activity, all you have to do is show up, and that will gain you a technique. If you show up to do that activity, if you say your activity is reading every day, so you don't actually have to read it every day. You can, but on the days you really don't feel like reading, you can just open the book up in front of you and sit there for a while, read one line, and that's it. That's all you have to do, and that will gain your technique. Eventually, you will start doing more and more because you'll feel ashamed of yourself for only opening a book and closing it back down. You'll feel like you're fooling yourself. In a way, you are, because you're manipulating yourself into actually doing the habit. It's an ego battle with yourself. So it's very effective. Do it for yourself and tell me how well it works. Number 2 is your goal is to get as many licks as possible, not to be perfect. Don't expect perfection. This is a tool to help you. It won't make you more consistent. You have to learn how to be consistent on your own. This is just going to help you make more progress. This is just going to help you understand how consistent you actually were. Basically, it's going to tell you how good or bad you are. And I'm very shortly also going to tell you how it affects your mindset and how it makes it so you're more likely to perform that activity, so you're more likely to be more consistent. But before that, tip number 3 is your goal is to tick off an activity as soon as you do it. So you feel a sense of pride. So you associate good feelings with that reward, with that activity. And so actually, the process of habit building can actually take place, because a habit, if you think about it, is just 3 things. It's a cue, action, and reward. If you get a cue and you perform the action but you don't reward yourself, you're not actually going to build a habit. So it's very important that you include a reward system. In this case, reward system is a tick mark on the habit tracker. So every time you do a habit, instantly go to your dressing room mirror or wherever you're going to paste this habit tracker and put a tick mark. You're going to feel proud and you're going to want to put more tick marks on that habit tracker. Tip number 4 is tick off the first day or the first week off, regardless of whether or not you do the activity. This is to feed onto your perfectionism. Basically, I watched a video. Basically, some YouTuber was talking about Bob Ross and how he beats perfectionism. Basically, if you're an artist, if you're a painter, you'd know this. Painters have this perfectionism syndrome where they see a blank canvas and they're extremely scared to put on their first stroke because they don't want to ruin that perfectly clean and nice canvas. So what Bob Ross did in order to beat his perfectionism, in order to win over his perfectionism, whenever he used to start painting on a blank canvas, he used to just put one stroke of paint on the middle of the canvas. So it was already ruined. So he was not overthinking about his first stroke. He was not overthinking about the way he's going to paint. And I thought the opposite of that is also true. I thought that if you have to beat your perfectionism in order to get you to do stuff, you can also feed onto your perfectionism to get you to do stuff, right? So my theory, and this actually worked for me. My theory is that when you tick off a lot, when you see a lot of tick marks on your habit tracker, you feel like it's so damn perfect that you don't feel like ruining it with a cross mark. So you're more likely to be more consistent with it. I know it probably doesn't make sense to you right now, but you won't be able to understand what I'm talking about until you actually go and make your own habit tracker. Hopefully by now you've paused this video somewhere at a point and you have made your own habit tracker. If you haven't, you're an absolute bitch and you're not going to ever be consistent with everything. And I'm very confident in saying that because I was an absolute bitch and I was not able to be consistent until I actually started working towards my consistency. If that is you, if my situation is exactly where you are, I need you to understand that this is the only way you're going to be consistent. Or at least this is the best way you can be consistent in my opinion. So make your own habit tracker, right? Okay, so this works for basically two reasons. One, you don't want to feel the shame you feel once you have to put a cross on the habit tracker because you didn't do a particular habit on a particular day. Or maybe you forgot for a particular day. And because you're going to have it on your face, like on the dressing room mirror or on the bathroom mirror, wherever you can see it every single day, because it's going to be on your face, you probably won't be able to forget that activity. And in the beginning, it's just going to be one thing. So it's really, really hard, and you have to be extremely stupid in order to forget just doing one thing a day, right? You can do it in the beginning, you can do it at the end of the day, you can do it in the between, you can do it anytime you feel like. You just have to get it done. Okay? So it works for two reasons. One, because you feel ashamed of yourself for putting a cross mark after putting so many tick marks. And it works also because you get a sense of pride. You feel rewarded basically every time you tick off a particular activity or a particular action, because you feel like you're making progress and you feel like you're accomplishing something, which you are, by the way. Just because I want to manage your expectations for this, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be extremely difficult and it's going to be painful even. But once you build a habit, it's like you built a tree. Right? The way a tree grows, it grows upwards and it also grows downwards, right? So the bigger the tree is, the older the tree is, the more deep its roots are and the stronger its roots are. So it's really hard to uproot that tree. It's the same with your habits. The deeper and the more stronger and the older the habit is, the harder it is to uproot that habit. Right? So you need to be working at this habit tracker, working with this habit tracker tool for at least a couple of months. At least go for 6 months. These are all the habits tracker that I decided that I'm going to keep. I have so many more that I just throw away. And these are at least 10 habit trackers, and I have one more just pasted on top there. You have to work, and I'm still not extremely consistent. Like even on the habit tracker that I currently have, I at least have like 4 or 5 crosses there. So I needed to be very practical with this. Basically, I need you to understand that practically, it's extremely unlikely that you're going to be 100% consistent every single day. But I need you to understand that the reason you're keeping this habit tracker is not because you want to be 100% consistent. That's a little bit impractical. The reason why we have this habit tracker, the reason why we keep a habit tracker is because we want to make sure we're more consistent. The days we're consistent is always more than the days we're not consistent. That's how we make progress. When we are doing good things more than the bad things. So we're basically not fucking up as of. You make progress by not fucking up, not by doing the right thing all the fucking time. Right? All you have to do is not fuck up. And this makes sure that you don't. So make your own habit tracker. Tell me in the comments that you made your own habit tracker. And I'm building a community of high value men, or men who want to become high value. I post self-improvement videos every single week, every Monday and Thursday. And if you think you're one of the high value men, subscribe to my channel right now so I can help you in your own self-improvement journey with videos just like this. And I'll see you next time.